Oh, very well. Good afternoon, everybody. Uh, Hope I'm clearly audible to all and screen visible, moving, not still, working good, code readable. Just please confirm with a yes to everything. If it is not, otherwise. Okay. So guys, the only 4-5 participants so far. What happened, people? You people are getting lazy, not very enthusiastic about it. Okay, let's give it another minute and I will start. Okay, I think we have waited long enough. So let's begin. So first things first, we started off. Let's start off with the. Let's sum up the pending thing. Then we will move on to something new. It was your support vector machines assignment, which was on MNIST dataset. So don't sweat it. I'll just show you line by line, which you have already done to an extent. Let's read the dataset. I'm reading it with readr package because it is a bit faster. You could have tried the CSV. You will realize that this one is way too faster than that. Since it is a used dataset, you will notice the time difference clearly. You see, even readr is taking time. So when faced with bigger datasets, better use readr package. Okay, bind rows, you already know that. We check head and we find out that column names are all jumbled up. I'm naming the first column where there are digits. I'm calling it digit. Let's convert it as factor because we are up to support vector machine algorithm. We already know we have to define the BE-Delhi algorithm. Other than logistic regression, the target variable has to be categorical if it is categorical. You can go for a quick glimpse if you wish to. However, nothing so particular. All others are intensity, which is given in numbers. Let's see if there is any duplicate. If there is any, it will be get dropped. However, I don't think there is any. Let's see the proportion of target class in our available data. So there are 10 digits 0, 11, 2, 3, 4 up to 9, and all are more or less all constitute 10% of the data, more or less. So class imbalance, which is a problem, it is not here, luckily. Let's go ahead, check missing values. If there is any missing value, we will have to tackle that. So there is no missing value. However, we discussed that, right? That there can be one particular pixel. If I have divided a digit, handwritten digit, into different pixels, there can be a pixel which is blank for all the digits. May be possible. Yes or no? Which is either always empty, or maybe the case it is, say there is a digit, there is a pixel, I don't know which it can be. There is a lucky pixel which is always black for handwritten digit, all the digits. Maybe the case. Yes or no? If a pixel is blank for every digit possible, it is useless. If a pixel is black for all the possible digits, even that is useless. It is not a differentiator. It is always blank. So I should draw these kind of pixels from this data set. Could you come up with a logic with that? Anybody? Did anybody try this to remove this unnecessary data? Remember redundancy. Your data is unnecessarily bulky. What was the logic? If somebody was able to do it. Somebody tried using loop. Somebody said that columns, all sums is equal to 0 for pixels which are always empty. Okay, maybe a logic could have been. Could be a logic. But did this work? Whatever you tried loop, you tried all sums, whatever you tried, did it work? And how long did it take? Loop will consume much time. Yes, that's where sapply comes in. We learned sapply because sapply can do it parallelly. It can operate on multiple columns with the same function. Now get the logic right. I am doing it with sapply, not for loop, and we will see how long it will take. Let's see what this code is doing. First, understand this. Maybe if you wish, you can copy paste it in the chat box. After binding the data, I created master data. Now I am creating a df data frame from master data where such pixels will be drawn. Which pixels will be drawn? Sapply on master, I am saying and distinct. What does it mean? If your column has how many distinct type of values, it is going to return that. Yes or no? Yes or no? This piece of code, only this piece of code, it will go to master column number 1, which is digit. So there are 10 types of digits and distinct will count how many distinct values are there. So rows may be thousands. Distinct values are 10. 0, 1, 2, 3 up to 9. Then it will go to column number 2. It contains ink densities. So if the pixel is blank, there will be 0, 0, 0. If there is ink density, it will be something, something, something. 50, 100, 150. If the pixel is completely black, it will come as 255. Yes, that was the idea. ये तो देख लिया होगा आप लोगों ने अब तक. तो जितनी तरह की वैल्यूज होंगी उसमें say it contains 50 for somewhere 0, somewhere 100, so it will give you 3 and distinct is 3. Let's extend this. So now after sapply, I have distinct values of each column. Now think about it. If a pixel is blank for all the digits, it will have how many distinct values? Only one, 0 everywhere. Yes or no? Prasoon and Sankalp and Prasoon. Yuvraj, Dhanraj, Yuvraj. दो ही खिलाड़ी खेल रहे हैं इंडियन हॉकी टीम के, बाकी सब चाय पीने गए हैं. अरे क्या हुआ बोलो बाकी लोग. नारी शक्ति किधर है? बोलते क्यों नहीं? हाँ तो ये तो बोलो कम से कम, रिपीट करता हूँ. Get it again. Think it easy. Maybe run it differently. Maybe run it differently. देख लो मैं क्या कह रहा हूँ. एस अप्लाई मास्टर पे एंड डिस्टिंक्ट अप्लाई कर लो. तो क्या करने वाला है एस अप्लाई? ये लाइट जल जाएगी रेड कलर की और आएगा वो थोड़ी देर में. बताएगा हर कॉलम में कितनी डिस्टिंक्ट वैल्यूज हैं। लो बताने लगा। बता दी। बता दी। किसी में 29 है, यानी इसमें कभी 0 होता होगा, कभी 100 हो जाती होगी, कभी 200 हो जाती होगी इनकी डेंसिटी इस वाली पिक्सल में, पिक्सल नंबर 778। कहीं पे 152 आ रहा है, कहीं पे कितना आ रहा है, ये देख रहे हो। कुछ पिक्सल्स ऐसे हैं उनमें डिस्टिंक्ट नंबर ऑफ वैल्यूज कितनी आई हैं, ओनली 1। अब वो जो भी हो, लेकिन इसका मतलब क्या हुआ, ये हमेशा इसमें इंक डेंसिटी उतनी ही रहती है, चाहे डिजिट कुछ भी लिखी हो। अब वो हो सकता है 0 हो सकता है 200 हो सकता है जो भी हो, लेकिन इसकी इंक डेंसिटी इट और कोई यूनिक वैल्यू है ही नहीं। इट हैज़ ओनली यूनिक वैल्यू, यानी सारे डिजिट्स के लिए इसकी वैल्यू हमेशा वही रहती है जो एक जगह है। अब जो भी हो, तो ऐसे पिक्सल्स मेरे काम के नहीं है, उन्हीं को हटाने की बात कर रहे थे। अब हटाऊंगा कैसे, मैं क्या कह रहा हूँ, नाउ कम्स लॉजिक। रिमेंबर विच क्लॉज, नॉट विच, इट इज नॉट क्लॉज, इट इज फंक्शन, जो एक कंडीशन देता है और रिटर्न क्या करता है, जहां ट्रू होगा वो वाला इंडेक्स नंबर दे देगा। इधर लिखता तो रोज देता, कॉमा लगा के इधर लिखा है तो कॉलम बता सही बात है, इसका काम है इंडेक्स बताना। तो रोज में लिखता हूँ तो रोज का इंडेक्स बताता है, कॉलम में लिखता है तो कॉलम का बता लाएगा। कंडीशन क्या है कि ये जिनका एंड डिस्टिंक्ट लेस देन 1 आया है, ग्रेटर देन 1 आया है, लेस देन नहीं ग्रेटर देन, जिनका ग्रेटर देन 1 आया है वो तो चाहिए मास्टर के वो सारे कॉलम उठ के कहाँ चले जाएं, डीएफ। ग्रेटर देन 1 आने का मतलब उसमें हमेशा यूनिक वैल्यू एक जैसी नहीं होती, अब वो चेंज होती है। नंबर ऑफ डिस्टिंक्ट वैल्यूज ग्रेटर देन 1, अब वो ग्रेटर देन चाहे 2 ही क्यों ना हो, लेकिन कुछ डिजिट के लिए वो चेंज हो जाती है। तो डिफरेंशिएटर तो है, यूजलेस वैल्यूज छूट जाएंगी। आ गया समझ, वही कर रहे हैं। तो देखो वो रेड लाइट जल गई है, और देखते हैं कितनी देर में जाती है। डेटा बड़े बड़े हैं आपके। एंड फाइनली इट कंक्लूड्स इन हाउ मच टाइम, इन अ फ्यू सेकंड्स इफ आई एम नॉट रॉन्ग। हाँ जी, फॉर लूप वाले कहाँ गए, बेटर है उनसे। हाँ ग्रिड चेंज हो जाएगा, प्रसून आई एम नॉट इंटरेस्टेड इन कि वो पिक्चर मेरे को देखने में कैसी लग रही थी, दैट इज दैट इज द ब्यूटी ऑफ योर एल्गोरिथम। आपको वो इमेज देखने की जरूरत नहीं है कि वो कैसी लगेगी देखने में, एंड स्टिल यू विल बी एबल टू फाइंड आउट विच डिजिट इट वाज। Yes, Shubham, almost the same logic. You just tweet it out with a minus sign, perfectly fine otherwise. Okay, if we see, we have removed some 65 columns. So there were 65 pixels. You see, we have done a fantastic job. The data is clean to an extent. Let's scale again. Scaling कर लेना चाहिए, हम जानते हैं, और मैनुअली कर ले तो बेहतर है, हालांकि अभी चलो देखते हैं आगे। तो जो फैक्टर में हमने कन्वर्ट किया था उसको छोड़ देगा, बाकी सबको स्केल कर देगा, म्यूटेटिव फंक्शन। So far so good. Let's split the train and test dataset. Again, now your data is clean. तो ट्रेन और टेस्ट में वापस ले आया इसको। What next? और ट्रेन और टेस्ट मतलब यहाँ पर ये ऐसे नहीं है कि टेस्ट पे तुमसे प्रेडिक्शन मांगा है। ट्रेन और टेस्ट उन्होंने ऑलरेडी डिवाइड करके दिए हैं, एक से ट्रेन करोगे, एक से वैलिडेट कर लोगे। लेबल दोनों जगह है, तो कुल मिला के टोटल डेटा ये अवेलेबल डेटा ही है एक तरह से। ठीक है, so let's go to model building. Should I do this? मॉडल बिल्डिंग पे चलें तो कैसा मॉडल बनाना है? हमें बनाना है सपोर्ट वेक्टर मशीन। पहला कर्नल लीनियर ट्राई कर रहा हूं मैं। यस और नो, आई डोंट हैव एनीथिंग एल्स टू डू, आई हैव नो अदर वे to sort that out. I will have to hit and try for kernels, which kernel will work good, work better. So let's try the linear one first. Oh, what to do? Pixel intensity. What do I what do you intend me to check?
सर वो साइड से थोड़ा बहुत डिजिट्स का जो ये राइटिंग में होगा वो साइड थोड़ा बहुत एक दो मीन्स पूरा पिक्सल कवर नहीं करेगा, थोड़ा बहुत उस पे लग पिक्सल का क्रॉस कर जाएगा, वो सब भी तो हटा सकते थे उसके लिए।
अच्छा, intensity wise you are asking. Yes, you can do that. You can do that. I'm talking about something else. One thing you can do it. Okay, there is a pixel which is always blank. Then there is a pixel which is usually blank. But who will be the judge of that? You cannot put two here and you can see that this is a pixel which is usually blank and sometimes there is a different value. You don't know. It may be 50-50 ratio. It is sometimes black, sometimes zero. You don't getting the gist. From this S apply, you are not going to know. Getting the idea? If a pixel has distinct values too, you don't know whether these two values are in 50-50 ratio or 90-10 ratio or 70-30 ratio. So you can do that, but it will take an extra effort. So just don't carelessly remove those values who have number of values, distinct values, more than one, more than two, or more than 10 even. There has to be logic to that. You can think about that a pixel which is mostly where intensity is 0 for 90% of times, kind of. So you can apply those logics. I'm not going into that. I'm leaving it to you. Okay. So for now, I'm not going into that. However, I was interested in this. The package is E1071. Yes. The function is svm digit tilde बाकी सारे data is train data, kernel is linear, and then there is a parameter scale is equal to false. I want to keep it. You know why? If I don't keep it is equal to false, by default it will be true. It is actually it is trying to help you out. If you forget to scale the data, it will scale the data by itself. So that is something good by SVM. However, if I leave scaling to SVM, it is going to take further time. I want to save time in algorithm. So I have manually scaled the variables and now I am asking this algorithm not to scale. Getting these tricks, these are tricks. Data science is done. Now these are just, you know, street tricks, street magic. Mathematics is over. That was over 2 days back. So got it right. Coming on to another thing, which is again something practically to do. It has no mathematics in it. You have realized that you have got the taste. Those who have run it, that SVM is very time consuming algorithm. There is a hell lot of things going on behind the screen. Yes or no? N dimensional geometry, data points here and there. Then there is margin classifier, and then there is best margin classifier. It will find out support vectors and tweak them out, and then there is cost function, and a hell lot of things going on. Correct? And there is your data is crazy. You are sitting on a wild data set. It has some 700 columns and thousands of rows. So let's play another trick. What it can be, rather than, and on top of that, you have to try multiple kernels. Yes or no? So maybe you run linear kernel and it will end after 2 days, and then you will run radial kernel and it will tell you it will take another 2 days, and after running 3 kernels, you may find out that there was a fourth kernel which was to be used. None of the three is working fine. So there is another thing, especially for support vector machine, which we can do. Rather than running this algorithm on entire data, Anji, we brought this train and test. Let's try this data, this algorithms on 10% of the data available, not entire data. Getting the gist, we will try different kernels on subset of the data. The data is clean. We have taken the ratio. We are taking sample in a split ratio. So, no, Sankalp, we are not resampling. Train or test. See, these data sets were given as it is. I have not done anything there. There I have not done any sampling so far. Now for training and testing, I'm taking 10% from the train data, which is here. The rest of the things you have seen already here in the chat box. So this is the trick which becomes decisive to save time and yet try all the kernels. What we are doing is we are taking 10% of the train data to build the model, 10% of the test data to validate the model or test the model. Fair? Then you know RM function and devoff. RM stands for remove variables from environment. Devoff is for remove plots from the plot area. Again, it is a good idea to free your memory as much as possible for especially these kind of algorithms. Random forest and support vector machines, they need as much memory as possible to work faster. So let's free them. Now just to save time, I have already run this algorithm. How much is the train data now? Originally it was 60,000, now it is some 6,000 observations. So I will run my model on this. So I have run that already to save time. Even now it will take time. It will take some 5-10 minutes. It may go up to that. And then I am predicting by this linear model. You got the idea? I don't need to show that, right? You are getting a fair idea. तो मॉडल बनाना और प्रेडिक्शन करना वो मैंने पहले ही कर लिया था ताकि अभी टाइम खराब ना हो इतना मतलब, बट यू आर गेटिंग द जिस्ट के कैसे करना है. So I think by omitting 90% of data, I have saved 90% of time if it is directly proportional. Only if it is so. Prediction कर लिया, so it is spread linear, so it is by linear kernel, and let's validate. If I check prediction of linear kernel against the test data $digits, so let's see how our model has worked. This is how our linear kernel has worked on subset of the data available. 10% of the data, which is a all in all available to me. And it is giving what result? It is giving confidence matrix like this. Overall statistics, it is giving overall accuracy of 90%, 0.9. And if I want to check digit wise sensitivity specificity, so it is kind of this 97, 99, pretty good. 97, 99, seems good. 95, 99, excellent. 84, 99, okay, well, gap hai. There is a vast gap, but anyway, result is good. All in all, result is good. What about others? You can have a look. You can have a look here in the chat box, the code so far. Okay, it will come in two sets. Here it goes. So I have got I've got two threads in the chat box. Please copy paste. So it constitutes the entire code so far. Maybe run it if you wish to. What I have ended up with, I have tried on 10% of the data and I am getting this result. I am getting this kind of result. Sensitivity this, specificity this. It means I can be very much sure that if I feed more data to my algorithm, well, what's going to happen? What do you think is going to happen? Shubham, it is because you did, you did not convert the target variable as factor. Maybe it was memory error. If you free your memory, uh, then maybe it can allocate. Okay, it is not that it is not going into GBs. See, while it is building the model, it is feeding the information to model. It needs space on the memory. If your memory is full before that, before the model concludes, it will terminate there and it will throw an error that could not allocate uh, enough memory. FPM is fantastic, but it comes with its own terms and conditions. Coming back to the question, I tried with 10% of the data. What do you think if I try with some more data, say 20%, 50%, or as the case may be, if I have enough time, maybe 100% data? Are getting an idea? I tried to, अरे क्या बोलते हैं उसको? I tried to get the taste first before having the complete meal. More or less the result will be the same. Are how come? Well, in my opinion, if I feed more data to train this model, I think it will do something better. It will learn now it will learn more, no? It will have more information. Maybe it will be better able to classify those which it was not earlier, like 2 and 5. Perhaps having more data will help. your naive base tanked on 100% of the data. Your support vector machine is doing wonders on even 10% of the data. What could be the next? What could be the next big thing? What could be the next big thing? This. कैसे check करोगे? You know the drill. Let's try a support vector machine. This time it is not linear. Let's call it radial. Kernel is not linear. Kernel is radial. And cube. Let's see how much time it takes. Meanwhile, you can run the code which I have already sent. तो थोड़ी देर में हमारा वो रन हो जाएगा, थोड़ी देर में मेरे से ख्याल से मेरे को रेडियल कर्नल वाला रन हो जाएगा। देखते हैं क्या होता है। हाँ सिद्धार्थ, करेक्ट। सी हिट एंड ट्रायल तो करना ही पड़ेगा। सी दिस इज लिमिटेशन ऑफ सपोर्ट वेक्टर मशीन। वी फिगर्ड इट आउट ना, वो तो हमने देखा था ना। हमने हर मॉडल में, इन ईच मॉडल व्हाट वी हैव ट्राइड टू डू, ईच मॉडल हैज इट्स ओन एडवांटेजेस एंड देन देयर आर सम डिसएडवांटेजेस। देन वी tried to maximize onto advantages and we tried to do some methods, some tricks to mitigate the disadvantages. Everywhere we have done that, right? We have tried that, yes or no? Right from the starting, right from regression models. Multicollinearity was the issue, so we mitigated it by VIS. In decision tree, multicollinearity is not the issue. The issue is overfitting, so we tried to mitigate that. Now support vector machine, it has various advantages, but the disadvantages that we have to hit and try, which will eventually lead me into where it is going to hit me. It is going to hit me in time, in form of time. To mitigate that, what we are doing, I am trying these models, hit and try to करना पड़ेगा, लेकिन why try on 100% of the data? Let's try on 10% of the data and get the feel, and then maybe when we are confident enough, we will go ahead with one single model which has given best results so far. Then we will feed 100% data to that model. You are getting more or less ठीक ठाक आइडिया लग रहा है इसका? क्या करते तो क्यों करते और कैसे करते? Well, so this time I have tried radial kernel. Again, same drill. Radial kernel, support vector machine, digit, tilde, dot, data strain, those 6,000 rows, only 10% of train data. Now train data I am calling, which is 10% of the data, subset that I have already taken care of. Kernel is radial, scaling is false. I don't want to scale again. And let's predict with this model. Oh wow. You see, first getting the model, that is difficult, that is time consuming. Now having prediction, even that is time consuming. Use data, hundreds of columns, thousands of rows, and then there are 10 categories in target variable. हाँ तो क्या गलती है यार उसकी भी? तुम बातें इतनी सारी पूछ रहे हो उससे, टाइम तो लेगा ना, एक्यूरेसी भी चाहिए फिर तुम्हें। हाँ, नाइव बेस अच्छा नहीं लगा तुम्हें? कचरा कर दिया था ना उसने। रिजल्ट तो बहुत जल्दी दिया, रिजल्ट कूड़ा था। Let's check the predictions of radial kernel, and let's find out. What do you see? Do you realize the improvement? Do you realize the slight balance which was not earlier, but it is now among sensitivity and specificity? You see, again the result is in 90s. That is one thing. Result is in 90s, but the balance is better. This time sensitivity and specificity are way more closer. What does it mean? What does it mean? Perhaps this kernel is better for this kind of classification. Rather than having a linear hyperplane, perhaps this is a circular hyperplane, जो हमने देखा भी था एग्जाम्पल में। शायद ऐसा ही कुछ हो रहा है। And if we say balanced accuracy, you see, क्योंकि balance sensitivity specificity में balance अच्छा आया है, overall accuracy has improved. So can we try other kernels now? Can we try different cost functions now? Can we try different gamma values now? I can try many values. And how much time it is taking? आप लोगों ने बताया था कि घंटों घंटों तक चलता है एल्गोरिथम, डाउट हो जाता है, पर मशीन हैंग हो गया है, ऐसा लगने लगता है, पता नहीं चल भी रहा है कि नहीं चल रहा कुछ, because you are using 100% of data, and that is for one kernel. Now you see, we played a trick, and we have already been able to test two kernels. So maybe we can do another two kernels in further another half an hour. So maybe half hour, maybe 1 hour, or maybe 2 hours, maybe we will be equal. Maybe we will come to terms with a final kind of kernel, a final kind of cost function, या जो भी हमने एक moderate support vector machine मेरे को चाहिए था. So I get a fair idea within 2 hours what has to be done next. Shubham, I realized that it happens. So that is something, that is all that is where SVM is nasty. It is notorious in terms of time. So once you are settled with the kernel and other things, once you have tweaked things out, now the question comes is feeding sufficient data, or feeding the available data to your support vector machine. So now you don't have to tweak around. So you have one final model, you feed it entire data, and then you are ready with the final model. So maybe it will attain accuracy in for goddamn sake, you are seeing here, it is 92% already. I think with further more data, it is only going to increase. Maybe you will hit 95 something or beyond. ठीक है जी, तो कर लेंगे अभी आप बाकी काम। आप लोग अलग अलग डेटा से ट्राई करना, नॉट डेटा ट्राई करना, आई मीन अलग अलग आपको ये ट्राई करना, क्या बोलते हैं, कर्नल ट्राई करना, एंड among all the different kernels you zero in on the best kernel which is giving best result on this 10% of data, and When we are confident that this is the kernel which is working best, now feed entire data to that one. Shubham, to use cost function, I'm just coming onto it in second half. Just a couple minutes, and we will break for a while, and then I'll come to that also. Not only cost function here, there are several parameters which need to be discussed. I'm coming on to it. We call it cross validation, if you have heard of it. अगर सुना है तो अभी तक वो नहीं देखा था, हाँ आने वाले हैं उसमें. Okay, so with this we come to an end of support vector machine. Here in the chat box, I have tried two types of kernels. The other two types of kernels you will try, and while in cross validation, I'll discuss the cost parameter and gamma function also. उनकी भी बात करते हैं. Okay, I think this you have complete code now for MNIST dataset, and you are very well aware of what this dataset was. You have tried support vector machine. Random forest भी आप लोगों ने करके देखा है, so you can be the best judge what should be done. However, in my opinion, SVM is doing wonders. So let's call it for a break for a while. It's 1:54 by my clock. It's raining here and fantastic weather outside. Maybe I'll enjoy it for a while. Okay, maybe you too, if it is raining there. So let's break for a few minutes. Hi again. Hope everybody is back. Please ping me, those who are here. Chalo. Let's come to business. Now you see there are two parameters which you have already seen in support vector machine. There is a cost function, which you already know what that is. Yes, देख लिया था आप लोगों ने. I'm trying to find thread meanwhile. I used to have a thread which very clearly explains with visual. Guys, click this link. You don't have to worry about code. The code which is shown in this link, that is of Python. We will keep our focus on the visual explanation. Say you have two classes, red and blue, or maybe cross and square, which are shown here. One class belongs to 1 and another is -1. So 1 and -1, you can take them as yes or no, that kind of classification, a binary classification, a simply binary classification. And if we do it by support vector machine, so in 2 dimensions, the scatter plot is this, and say if we use linear kernel, what's happening? What do you think is happening? It is making several mistakes. Yes or no? A straight linear kernel is making several mistakes. So let's go ahead with radial kernel. Now radial means circular in nature, elliptical. Now how much elliptical? So that is cost function. We got to know that it is the degree of cost I am ready to bear for misclassification, so that my classifier does not overfit. Gamma is by what degree your classifier can have the complexity of the shape of your classifier. A very small gamma. You are having a radial kernel. It is radial. You know, if it is R, it is a circle basically. It is a very large circle. You can imagine it. It is a very large circle, and you are just having a look at the arc of it. So that is a gamma way too small. So it doesn't seem like working. Check this out. You have seen two classifications already. A linear one, then you tried a radial kernel, RBF जिसको बोलते हैं RBF डॉट भी बोलते हैं उसको. It stands for radial. We are seeing various values of gamma, how the classifier will be. If gamma is way too small, your classifier is way too big. Now you have an optimum value of gamma, so your classifier is of complex shape. But when it is of complex shape, what it is doing? You realize that it is doing very good classification. Getting the idea of gamma? What if the gamma is way too high? If the gamma is way too high, what it will do? Say like the case of 100, gamma is 100. You have added too much complexity to the shape of your classifier. You come to that image, you see that also. So it is just two-dimensional representation. You will not be able to see it in n dimensions. So it is just to give you a feel what gamma is actually doing. It is adding complexity. ठीक है, you getting the idea? Gamma is very small, 0.1 or maybe 0.21, जो भी दिया है वहाँ पे देख लिया होगा आपने, 0.01 it is. For 0.01, gamma is very vague, almost कोई यूज नहीं आ रहा है. If gamma is 1, you have this kind of classification. Seems it is working very fine. You take value of gamma way too high, say you have taken 10. Okay, 10 is not bad, but it is this kind of shape now. Complex होता जा रहा है आपका structure. Your classifier is getting complex and more complex. Gamma is equal to 100. Way too high gamma. You are having this type of classification. And what do we call it? What do we call it? In a way, you have overfitted your classifier. बहुत ही ज़्यादा एकदम टाइट फिट कर दिया इसको ट्रेनिंग डेटा के हिसाब से. करेक्ट? Yes or no? So not a good thing for long run. Then down below it is explaining cost function. What is the cost of classification जो आपको which you can bear to? You are saying I am ready to bear very less cost. So the C parameter which it is representing is, you can take it as what you can take it as, it is written there. Can you see? C here is representing not the cost. You can understand it as inverse of cost. It is penalty. It is representing penalty here. Which means so in a way, जैसे मैं explain कर रहा था आपको कि cost you are ready to bear. So it is opposite now. So what is the penalty which will be levied if your model misqualifies? You are saying there will be very less penalty. C is equal to very less. Right? So penalty is very less. You don't want to penalize a lot if your model misqualifies. So your model is very liberal. It is doing well whatever it is doing here. It is doing hell lot of misclassifications. Correct? कोई दिमाग नहीं लगा रहा वो, क्योंकि उसको पेनल्टी नहीं पड़ रही ना. Now you are mentioning, now you are raising a penalty a bit. You are saying there will be penalty of 10 units. So clearly now your model must be worried a little bit. So now it is doing this kind of classification. It is trying to do better. It is turning complex but doing better. पहले बहुत सिंपल था और बहुत कुछ गलत कर रहा था. In the next step, you say let's become more stringent towards penalty. So now you are saying penalty will be 1000 of misclassification. Your model, well, now you see, now your model is really trying hard not to misclassify. राइट, यू आर गेटिंग द आइडिया। जैसे जैसे पेनल्टी बढ़ता जा रहा है आपका मॉडल कॉम्प्लेक्स होता जा रहा है, क्लासिफिकेशन अच्छा करता जा रहा है, लेकिन एट द सेम टाइम ओवरफिट भी होता जा रहा है, कॉम्प्लेक्स होता जा रहा है। So this is a very good thread. You can you you can bookmark it or maybe keep a note of this. It can come in handy whenever, and in fact, it will come in handy in your Python module also. Actually, the codes are in Python. For now, we are not interested in that, but you already know that support vector machine, the algorithm, the concept behind the screen is same for R and Python. There is nothing new in that. It is just the code and syntax. Now there comes an idea of striking right balance. Yes or no? It occurs to us. अभी तक क्या प्रॉब्लम था, कर्नल कौन सा लेना है, लो नई मुसीबत आ गई। Along with several facilities, support vector machine has offered confusion also. What should be the optimum value of kernel and gamma and penalty, so that your model is not overfitted, your model is not underfitted, your model is not way too liberal, your model is not way too, clinging on to the training data. None of them should happen. अच्छा, ये विपत्ति तो कई बार आई है हमारे सामने। Remember, such a question came in decision tree also. We wanted to prune our decision tree. We wanted to limit its depth. We did not want it to go to unlimited depth. And we had several parameters: max depth, min split, min bucket, and CP. So it could be any one of them, or it could be a combination of any of them. Now, which one to use? Remember that time? This came up once, very long ago. I mean, not that long ago, barely a, barely a few weeks back, when we were discussing decision tree. So there comes a concept, okay, let's see if you can figure it out, or rather than articulating it, better get the description right. Check this out, and there is another link, and it is pretty straightforward. Go to this. The recent questions bring me to the concept of cross-validation. So here is the idea of cross-validation. I'm holding here for a minute or two. Just skim through this article and this link. And tell me what you get out of this. Okay, so I'm muting myself. I'm giving you a few minutes to go along. If you get the idea, just shoot in the chat box that this is what you make out of this. If there is any confusion, any question, well, shoot that as well. Take your time. Take your time. No problem. Okay, a few things coming up. What about others? It is one fantastic piece of article, with very lucrative visualizations. I don't know what is going on with you because none of you are responding except for Siddharth and Shubham. I don't know what you are making out of this. So I'll try to explain it in simpler terms. But, I was really hoping that you would get this right. See, this is cross validation, and the idea behind cross validation is to improve our model, just not by tweaking the model. How to tweak model that you have learned. There are many methods to tweak your model. So one idea, yes, the idea of cross validation is, so this is one of the ideas of cross validation. सिंपल, जैसे आप ट्रेन और टेस्ट करते थे, ट्रेन और वैलिडेशन करते थे, तो यू हैव चोजन दिस एज योर ट्रेनिंग डेटा एंड दिस वाज योर टेस्ट डेटा. तो अभी ये मत बोलना कि ये तो सीक्वेंस में ले लिया है, हम तो रैंडम सैंपल करते थे, ये करते थे, वो करते थे. इट इज नॉट दैट. मैं कह रहा हूँ रैंडम सैंपल किया, रैंडम सैंपल करने के बाद मान के चल रहा हूँ कि ये ट्रेन डेटा बचा था, ये टेस्ट डेटा बचा था. So this we are calling, this is iteration 1. So this is one set of validation. Let's cross validate the same model. उसी मॉडल को, अभी इस मॉडल के साथ क्या हुआ, इस मॉडल ने ये वाला डेटा देखा और बेचारे ने ये वाला डेटा नहीं देखा. यही तो बात हुई है. उसने ये वाला डेटा देखा और उस हिसाब से सब मान के चलते हैं डिसीजन ट्री था या लीनियर रिग्रेशन था. अगर उसने ये वाला डेटा देखा है बेचारी लाइन ने, वो फिट हो गई जाके इस डेटा के हिसाब से. इस पे हमने वैलिडेट कर लिया. हम कह रहे हैं ये वाला डेटा उसने बेचारी ने देखा नहीं था. तो नेक्स्ट इटरेशन में क्या कर रहे हैं, लेट दिस जो पहले छूट गया था वो डेटा ले लेते हैं, ट्रेन डेटा का चंक ले लेते हैं, और इस बार देयर विल बी अ डिफरेंट सेट ऑफ टेस्ट डेटा. तो फिर एक लाइन फिट होगी, फिर एक मॉडल फिट होगा. सेइंग मोर जनरलाइजिंग द वर्ड, if it was regression there was a line, if it was decision tree it was a tree of conditions. So I am calling any model now, any model will fit according this time, and we will be validated on this chunk of data. Then it will be iteration 3 and so on. So there can be n number of iterations. Every time you will have a different set of data will act as test data, and rest of the data will become train data. What is the benefit of this? Anybody wants to say? Say it was a total data of 100 rows. You are using 80 rows to train and 20 rows to validate. Among these n number of these k iterations, what will happen? Out of these k iterations, yes, you are going to get one model which is acting best. So despite you have less data, you can play a trick and you can find the best model without compromising on train and test. So this is k-fold cross validation. a numerical for you people. If it is 5-fold cross validation, what will be the ratio of train and test? अगर k फोल्ड कर रहा हूं तो हर बार क्या हो रहा है, हर बार एक ट्रेन टेस्ट डेटा नया बन रहा है. So in k times the entire rows of available data will act as test data. तो समझ पा रहे हो, अगर k फोल्ड क्रॉस वैलिडेशन हो रहा है तो what will be the ratio of train and test? Got this right? What if it is 10-fold क्रॉस वैलिडेशन? अगर 10-fold क्रॉस वैलिडेशन है तो ट्रेन और टेस्ट के रेशियो क्या क्या होंगे हर आइटरेशन में? शुभम, संकल्प संकल्प शुभम, युवराज धनराज धनराज युवराज, कामली तेंदुलकर तेंदुलकर कामली. I don't know if you you are of that age. It used to be like that. I have seen those days, those pathetic days of Indian cricket team and Indian hockey team. You are behaving like that. वे कहाँ बैठ गए सब बाकी सारे जाके? पता नहीं, या तो सब समझ आ रहा है या कुछ समझ नहीं आ रहा. Now check this out. ये रेशो समझ नहीं आया. अरे क्यों समझ नहीं आया? यार मुझे n iterations करनी है. I need to do n iterations या k iterations. In each iteration, one piece of available data will act as test, and other will become training data. By the end of k iterations, I want to use entire available data in testing. तो क्या समझे आप? Available data अगर 100 है तो 100 divided by k in each iteration, that is what is required as test data. This is intention. That at the end of k iterations, I will use the entire available data, one chunk at a time, in testing. One chunk at a time. तो सपोज अवेलेबल डेटा मेरे पास 100 था, तो एक आइट्रेशन में कितना यूज करना है मेरे को टेस्टिंग के लिए? 100 डिवाइडेड बाय k हो गया? यस और नो? बाकी जो है वो ट्रेन बन जाएगा. अब मैं तुमसे क्या कह रहा हूँ, 5-fold क्रॉस वैलिडेशन हो तो कितना डेटा टेस्ट बनेगा हर आइट्रेशन में? लो कर लो, 100 डिवाइडेड बाय 5 फोल्ड करना है तो कितना बनेगा? 20% ऑफ डेटा विल बी टेस्ट, बाकी 80% विल बी ट्रेन. ये कह रहा हूं. अगर मैं कहूं 10-fold करना है तो कर लो 10-fold. 100 डिवाइडेड बाय 10 तो कितना बचा? 10% डेटा हर आइट्रेशन में टेस्ट बनना चाहिए और बाकी 90% डेटा ट्रेन बन जाएगा. तो वेरी ऑफनली आप यही 2 आइट्रेशंस देखेंगे भविष्य में, जब भी क्रॉस वैलिडेशन की बात होगी, या तो 5-fold होता है या 10-fold होता है. यूजुअली ऐसा ही राउंड फिगर कुछ रखते हैं लोग. करने को मतलब कुछ भी कर सकते हो, बट वैसे बता रहा हूँ यूजुअली जो लोग प्रेफर करते हैं. इवन इन 5 and 10 यूजुअली पीपल चूज 5-fold क्रॉस वैलिडेशन. ये था. तो नीचे एक GIF दी हुई है, दिस वन, जिसमें क्या है वही दिखाने की कोशिश की है उसने। हर आइटरेशन में क्या हो रहा है, हर बार एक टेस्ट डेटा सेट बनेगा, बाकी सब कुछ ट्रेन हो जाएगा, और सबसे हम एक एक मॉडल, मॉडल 1, मॉडल 2, मॉडल 3, हर आइटरेशन में एक एक मॉडल बनाते चले जाएंगे। और उनमें से बेस्ट मॉडल देख लेंगे जब वैलिडेट होगा टेस्ट डेटा। However, this is one side of cross validation. This is one side of cross validation. You are using different models on the same dataset and you are coming up with the best model. Why are we talking about this? Because अभी अभी तो देखा, the C, the gamma in case of SVM, ये चीजें ट्विक करनी पड़ सकती है ना। तो क्या ही अच्छा हो कि जैसे मैं आइटरेशंस में डेटा बदल रहा हूँ, ऐसे ही मैं आइटरेशंस में वेरियस C करके देख लूँ, वेरियस गामा करके देख लूँ। अरे है कि नहीं? अभी अभी तो तुम्हें थ्रेड भेजा है, C की वैल्यू हो सकती है 0.1, 1 भी हो सकती है, और 100 भी हो सकती है, और 1000 भी हो सकती है। सेम गोज फॉर गामा। तो कैसे निकालूं ऑप्टिमम? तो मैं कह रहा हूँ कि रादर देन कि सिर्फ डेटा चेंज होता रहे वहाँ आइटरेशंस में, मैं कह रहा हूँ इनकी वैल्यू चेंज करा दो अलग अलग आइटरेशन में। ट्रेन डेटा से मॉडल बनेगा, टेस्ट पे टेस्टिंग हो जाएगी, फिर दूसरी आइटरेशन, ट्रेन से दूसरी वैल्यू ऑफ C पता चल जाएगी, और वो वैलिडेट हो जाएगी, और फाइनली मैं देख लूंगा क्रॉस चेक करके कौन से सबसे अच्छा रिजल्ट आ रहा है। तो दिस इज अनदर एस्पेक्ट ऑफ क्रॉस वैलिडेशन। सेम गोज इन लाइक डिसीजन ट्री। अगर डिसीजन ट्री की बात करूं, द कार्ट मॉडल, तो वहां पर क्या क्या थे, क्या क्या थे? मैड डेप्थ नहीं, मैच डेप्थ, मेन स्पीड था, CP था, मेन बकेट भी था, और भी था, जो भी है। तो मैं क्या कह रहा हूँ कि वेरियस वैल्यूज ऑफ CP रख के देख लो। एक आइट्रेशन में 1 रखो, एक में 0 रखो, एक में 2 रखो, है क्या नहीं? और जब वैलिडेट हो जाएगा ऐसे, ट्रेन टेस्ट टेस्ट ट्रेन, ट्रेन टेस्ट टेस्ट ट्रेन पे पता चल जाएगा फाइनली मुझे कौन सा सबसे अच्छा काम कर रहा है, वो मेरा फाइनल मॉडल हो जाएगा। ठीक है? सो क्रॉस वैलिडेशन इज नॉट ओनली just done to jumble up the data, it is also very fruitful when you want to try different when you are tuning the model for getting the best fit model. Now question for you, I am making a statement, tell me. I am saying random forest does not need cross validation. I am saying random forest doesn't need cross validation. If you do, you can do, but if you don't do, even then it is okay. What do you say? True, false, false, true? I see there are 10 peoples here. All in all, 11 including me. So there are 10 peoples. So at least there should be 10 responses at least. Right or wrong? Getting the idea? Because you know the mechanism of random forest. वो ऑलरेडी कर चुका है क्रॉस वैलिडेशन, वैसे ही तो बना है। हर ट्री के लिए रैंडमली डेटा आया ट्रेन होने के लिए, तो इन अ वे इट इज ऑलरेडी वैलिडेटेड। अपने आप उसमें इंटरनल उसका मैकेनिज्म ऐसा है कि क्रॉस वैलिडेशन का कोई लॉजिक नहीं बनता है। इट इज ओनली गोइंग टू कंज्यूम टाइम, अदर देन दैट नथिंग एल्स इज गोइंग टू हैपन। उसका द ईच ट्री इन अ रैंडम फॉरेस्ट इज ऑलरेडी क्रॉस वैलिडेटेड। रिमेंबर आउट ऑफ बैक एरर भी देखते थे हम लोग। हर ट्री बनेगा, रैंडमली कुछ डेटा आएगा, जो बचेगा उस पर टेस्टिंग हो जाएगी। जब सब पे टेस्टिंग हो जाएगी, सारे ट्री बन जाएंगे, तो आउट ऑफ द एरर मिल जाएगी। तो क्रॉस हो तो गया क्रॉस वैलिडेशन, और कैसे करोगे? So if you put another layer of cross validation on top of that, it is only going to consume time without making any difference in performance. Yes, another star on another feather in the cap of random tree, random forest. Okay, very well. So OS2 तो नहीं शुरू हो गया है? I'm done. वैसे, by the way, I'm done for the day. We will start off with the concept of neural networks in the next class. Before that, you will submit that time series assignment. We will discuss for so maybe half an hour we will spend on discussing that uh, your project of time series, and then we will move ahead with concepts of neural network. Meanwhile, I'll prepare an exercise meanwhile, and that also I will give you for today. You have got a fair idea of cross validation. What is the idea behind cross validation? Now, how it is done hands on in RStudio. So I will prepare an exercise for that. So maybe I will mail you. So it will be barely 10-12 lines. I will have to cook up a data and I will send you the code. So you will be able to run it by yourself. I'm very confident. So you will get it right by yourself. Even if it doesn't happen, then yes, we can discuss it. We will definitely discuss it. If there is any query regarding that, so we will discuss it in next class. No issue regarding that. If it happens, we need to take that up. However, I will want you to focus on time series for now. For the coming weekend, focus on time series first. Cross validation is not that big of a deal. It is just the idea you have got. It is a pretty straightforward idea. What is the algorithm doing behind? Now, what exactly the code should be, that I will send you. So don't worry about that too much. And it will not work for time series. Oh, wow. What did I say? Yeah, it is common sense. It will not work for time series, no. Time series is ordered collection of values in chronology of time. Cross validation will do no good there. Okay, very fine, guys. So turning off recording, but I'll stay for another minute.